Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Moon Lambo posting this on Twitter this morning, guys. XRP has mostly been trading sideways for a few days now, but the volume is through the roof compared to normal. A very good observation here, okay? 600 million or so in the last 24 hours would be usual, but now we're seeing $2.5 billion worth of volume. Something is coming. So we have seen the price trading sideways as of late. Right now, as of the time of this recording, XRP trading at about 47 cents, just shy of 47 cents, but for all intents and purposes, we'll call it 47 cents. And as per Moon Lambo's observation here, somebody asking him, is something coming or is this a sell the news situation? Moon Lambo responding, I have no idea. Just noting that XRP market conditions are far outside of normal parameters. And I don't actually have that XRP ledger visualization up here right now, but I think you can probably find it. Somebody's posted it on Twitter. You can see all the activity that's going on in the XRP ledger, more than normal. And, as per Moon Lambo's estimate here, more than 4 times the normal volume flowing through the XRPL. So that does indeed say something, I think. Perhaps not spelling it out as obviously as we would like, but, acknowledging or observing these types of developments, things that get you scratching your head. Michael Branch also bringing this up with regards to XRP moving over the ledger. The native XRP Ripple token has seen the most growth over the previous 7 days, while Bitcoin and Ethereum have both had big price declines recently. XRP has seen a sharp increase, and I think, many people over there in the crypto space are noticing this, even Bitcoin maximalists. Somebody was even posting, I don't have it up here because I just thought it was kind of funny more than anything. Somebody was posting that Bitcoin maximalists are now telling their followers on whatever social media platform they are on to take a look at XRP, get into XRP because it is pumping. So, completely disregarding the price of Bitcoin, disregarding anything that has to do with Bitcoin, and, just kind of follow the trend. And worse than that, follow the trend after it is too late. I am happy that I've stuck to my guns and, basically accumulated when XRP was still in the 20s. And, I was even saying, for those of you guys who still felt like you need to pack your bags, this was a great time to accumulate XRP in the low 30s. And I hope some of you guys ended up doing that. Algorand was another cryptocurrency that has been performing well as of late here. If I put it on the, here's the daily chart for Algorand. And as you guys can see throughout the summer, that same kind of consolidation pattern. We saw Algorand trading at around 29, 30, 31 cents. Algorand did hit a high of 41 cents. Now it's trading at about 36.4. So not performing as well as XRP, but still performing fairly well. Even just taking a look at the coin market cap here and, going down here, taking a look at the 7-day, the price gains in the last 7 days. Well, the number one coin was Reserve Rights, followed by XRP with a gain of 32.79% over the last 7 days. And yesterday when I did this, Algorand was actually number 3. It has dropped down to number 6? No, number 5 down here. So Algorand up 16% in the last 7 days. Algorand, another big performer over the last week. Bringing it just back to XRP for a second, guys, and throwing it on the monthly, you guys can see this past month, and the month is almost coming to a close now. We're almost at the end of September. We didn't really see much at the beginning of the month. It wasn't until end of the month where we really started to see that spike. And, it's looking as though, hopefully, the momentum is changing and we are going to see some more action to the upside. Even just throwing it on the daily, you guys can see XRP performing fairly well in general. And, yesterday we did see a bit of a downturn, but still nothing to suggest that we're forming lower lows. We are technically still forming higher highs on the XRP chart. Bringing it on the hourly, you guys can see we are still generally trading sideways. This is forming what is looking like a larger bullish pennant pattern. And, we did see this low only a few hours after that high hit, that high of, what was the high, 55.7. Then it did come swing back down to 45.6. And we've just been trading in this area for a while. It hasn't come down past this low, at least not yet. So that is a good sign as well. Here, if I throw a Fibonacci on here, what can we glean from this? Fibonacci showing that it is now below the 0.236 on the 1 hour. It's interesting though how these Fibonacci's work. I mean, it's quite remarkable actually. We did hit the 0.702, did retrace, was bouncing off the 0.236 several times before coming back up, hitting the 0.5, coming back down again, hitting the 0.618 up here. Now we're below the 0.236. So We got to see what happens when we get back down to here, when we get back down to the low, the localized low. A lot of trading volume also, so that is also something important to note about this trend. But a lot of volume, okay? Very different than what we have seen in the past. So thanks to Moon Lambo just for pointing that out. And thank you also to Michael Branch here just for bringing us these updates with regards to the quantity of XRP tokens that we're also seeing being transferred over the XRP ledger. Now, we're wondering what the heck is going on. The macroeconomic situation is definitely having an impact on finances and maybe a bit of a squeeze. Pound hits record low versus the dollar. So the markets are being hit by recession fears. The pound hits a record low, guys, against the dollar on Monday on surging fears about the UK economy after the government unveiled a huge tax-cutting budget. The sell-off came as equity markets across Asia and Europe fell again, owing to a growing expectation that central bank interest rate hikes to fight runaway inflation would lead to a deep and painful recession. Oils also suffered more hefty selling. Officials in several countries, including the US, Britain, Switzerland, and Sweden, announced more increase in the cost of borrowing. And the moves sent equity markets deep into the red again after officials reiterated their focus on fighting inflation, even if that means causing a recession. So everybody's panicking. The Great British Pound is collapsing. Here, let me just bring up GBP to USD. And you guys can see here, this was the record low. 1.04 roughly. It's actually at 1.039 GBP to US dollars. As you guys may know, the Great British Pound has been historically worth more than that. Right now it is trading at 1.07. So, this is the hourly. Let me throw it on the monthly just to kind of give you guys a sense of where we are today. So, first time since 1984. Let me take that off auto. You guys can see this is the chart, Great British Pound to the US dollar. And first time since 1984. Take a look at that. This was the last time we hit those rates. Right back in here, February 1985, actually. So early 1985, we are now coming back into this demand zone or level of support. Lot of volume, lot of volatility here, guys. Take a look at this over the last several years now. Well, there was Brexit in 2016, and I mean, lots been going on. So we can't attribute this just to one factor, but I mean, the Great British Pound is seeing historic lows not seen for about 35 years, over 35 years. Interesting to note that. All the while the US dollar is surging. So this is the DXY index, and you guys can see again on the monthly, we have just been surging to new highs here. Let me throw it on the daily for you guys. You guys can just see over the micro level here that we are just continuing to soar to new levels. What is this going to mean? Well, a lot of predictions out there, guys. I know I've showed this World Economic Forum video on my channel in the past, but I thought it'd be appropriate now more than ever. What if extreme weather froze your bank account? You got to be kidding me. They're playing into this narrative that all these kinds of things could affect the economy. And so, I mean, you guys better be prepared. Yes, and yes, they're blaming some of it on climate change. Are you ready for the new pandemic? This coming from Alchemical Daddy here. I'm just going to play you guys this video and read it for you. So what if extreme weather froze your bank account? Again, from the World Economic Forum. The world's digital financial systems are increasingly interconnected. They go on to say companies have come to rely on one another in a network of critical interdependencies. So, outlining how much we are relying on an interconnected financial system. And of course, DLT technology and blockchain, RippleNet, I mean, it's going to be the lifeblood, really, of the financial system once everything comes to pass. Let me continue with the video. This means disruption can more easily grow and spread throughout the system. So basically they're saying, okay, we're creating a system where you are more interdependent on everyone else. And so it could be a domino effect. If there is one problem somewhere, well, that could affect you somewhere else with repercussions that could affect all of us. And the one thing, yeah, I guess that's the glaring point here that I see and that I'm sure you guys see as well. They're stating this as if it's kind of out of their hands, but what most people don't realize is they are in control of this system. They are the ones that created this system in this particular way. So is that we all have to be interdependent on it? Well, maybe if you created it in a different way, we wouldn't be so interdependent on the system and it wouldn't be so vulnerable. But they're stating, okay, these are repercussions that could affect us all. So better watch out, better be careful. It means that a severe snowstorm, for example, or a cyber attack could cut off people's access to money both in person and online, a situation that could lead to widespread panic and a loss of trust. An average cyber ripple event, guys, impacts 10 additional companies. I don't know if that was just a cute little clue in there or what, but anyway, that's what they're saying here. Beyond the firms originally affected, last year's cyber attack on U.S. software company SolarWinds highlighted the risks. Whoops, what was that last little bit? Highlighted the risks. Highlighted the risks of interconnectedness. So here we have the World Economic Forum telling us, you better be careful. There could be a shutoff of the financial system. You could be denied access to your money. And oh yeah, by the way, we're blaming it on climate change. I'm sure there's going to be a storm that occurs that cuts off power supply. If you don't have cash or maybe some precious metals, maybe some silver coins, you guys are basically going to be vulnerable. You're going to have no cash, no money, no way to transact. Because you're so used to transacting digitally. Be mindful of this, guys. Always have cash on hand. This is why I'm also invested in some precious metals. And then we got to think about that update, right? The XRPL update, the one where they were saying or suggesting or working on this idea that the XRPL can make transactions without any internet. I wonder why they're deciding to do that. All this while I saw this on Twitter, which I thought this was fake. Time for Change posted this. BlackRock apparently filed for bankruptcy. Now, this can't be the entire BlackRock corporation. This has got to be maybe one part of BlackRock. I did look it up afterwards. Louisiana Western Bankruptcy Court, BlackRock International Inc., Louisiana Western Bankruptcy Court. And as you guys can see, their last filing was on September the 20th, 2022. Now, when you click on the link, it's there, BlackRock Inc. International Bankruptcy Court. So it all checks out, and I'm thinking to myself, is there another BlackRock perhaps? But no, this is BlackRock International Inc. And if I just do a quick Google search for BlackRock International Inc., it says down here, that is the name of the company. So I'm wondering what this is. I know it can't be the main BlackRock company. I mean, they're too big to fail. They just recently also purchased an interest in Coinbase, so this seems a little fishy. If anybody can explain this to me or maybe has an idea, please do put it in the comment section. You can also tag me over there on Twitter, guys. I'm at WorkingMoneyCH on Twitter, and if you're not following me, follow me on Twitter. Interesting developments, to say the least. We've also got this, guys, from James Rule XRP, U.S. Department of the Treasury, okay? Now, this has to do with crypto assets, implications for consumers, investors, and businesses, and this was just put out this month. This is a brand new document, September 2022, and James down here, he notes some comments that were actually made by Ripple, ensuring responsible development of digital assets, posted by the Department of the Treasury, and apparently these comments were made back in July of this year. He posts just a screen grab here, just demonstrating that there is an entire PDF here with a Ripple response. And some of it includes this, okay? Although Ripple utilizes XRP and the XRP ledger and its product offerings, XRP is independent of Ripple. The XRP ledger is decentralized, open source, and operates on what is known as a consensus protocol. While there are over 100 known use cases for XRP in the XRP ledger, Ripple leverages XRP for use in its product suite because of XRP's suitability for cross-border payments. Key characteristics of XRP include speed, scalability, energy efficiency, and cost efficiency, all of which benefits the consumer and helps reduce friction in the market for cross-border payments. I like how they put in here, well, there are well over 100 known use cases for XRP, meaning so many different companies develop on the XRPL, and it's not just us. So, SEC, maybe you should just lay off with your securities argument. They do state, all the benefits of the XRPL, why people should be using XRP and why people are using XRP at this moment. Anyway, an interesting find here. Wanted to thank James for posting that. And then there's the issue of XRP as a stablecoin. Now, I talked about this in a few videos that I've done. The World Bank, most notably, classified XRP as a stablecoin, and I did a video on that. I will link it up here if you guys didn't catch it. Just for ease of navigation, though, Nathan Price did also post that article in here with regards to stablecoins for cross-border payments. The World Bank outlining Ripple's XRP and Stellar's XLM specifically. Limitation, multi-currency stablecoins. So they talk about this in the US. This may require additional limitations on any stablecoin that is not exchangeable for the underlying fiat currency, one-to-one net fees. or for which the value is determined by reference to more than one fiat currency, e.g. multi-currency stablecoins. Now, what Nathan points out is this. So if XRP is a stablecoin, according to the World Bank, and it is considered widely adopted globally according to the SEC, that sounds like a GSC, or a global stablecoin. To me, it looks like info from State Street, the EU, the BIS, the IMF, and PWG want restrictions on GSCs. So is it a security, yes or no? I don't think these guys are classifying XRP a security. That is only the SEC in the United States. But some other interesting points here, I think, where they want to position whatever they consider a global stablecoin for institutional and wholesale use, and to kind of move away from the retail use cases. So this is just a document from State Street from a couple of years ago. Moreover, in many cases, and opportunities and risks associated with stablecoin arrangements are equally relevant for both retail and wholesale product offerings. For example, retail and institutional clients may use the same payment system for stablecoins and other digital asset arrangements, and therefore the payment solutions developed for retail markets could easily influence the development of solutions intended for various segments of the wholesale markets, such as digitally enabled foreign exchange transactions. We believe that core features of the regulatory landscape for retail and wholesale digital assets, including stablecoin arrangements, should be defined in tandem in order to avoid both potential regulatory fragmentation and the suboptimal distribution of financial resources, such as the bifurcation of liquidity pools. So, as he states here, retail and institution using the same wholesale product, and they don't really like that. Furthermore, we believe that the principle of same business, same risk, same rules should be at the core of any effort to define the regulatory framework for digital assets, either securities or innovative cash assets, including global stablecoin arrangements. Now, again, they have not really defined what a global stablecoin is, but based on the research that we've done previously, we can assume that XRP, it's the cryptocurrency most positioned to be that global stablecoin. Okay, reasons for global stablecoins, not for retail. So we've got even more here. If GSC users were to hold GSCs permanently in deposit-like accounts, bank retail deposits might decline, increasing bank dependence on wholesale funding. Also, just down here in the discussion above, a GSC is assumed to be held as a form of savings. However, it is possible that intermediaries may emerge that borrow or take deposits in GSCs and lend the coins to borrowers, thereby creating money. This would further weaken domestic monetary policy transmissions, as the returns to domestic savers and the interest rate paid by domestic borrowers would both be less responsive to monetary policy. By facilitating cross-border payments, a GSC might increase cross-border capital mobility and the substitutability of domestic and foreign assets, thereby amplifying the responsiveness of domestic interest rates to foreign rates and undermining domestic monetary control. However, if a GSC were to become a unit of account for international trade and trade were invoiced in that GSC, international prices in that GSC would become sticky. Then the term of trade would depend on the value of the GSC against the domestic currency and not a bilateral exchange rate between the domestic currencies of the trading pairs. As a result, the effect of exchange rates on trade and economic activity could be muted. An outcome similar to that, often attributed to the pricing of international trade in US dollars. And so if a GSC were to become widely used globally, this could raise market interest rates, guys, in the former countries and lower them in the latter. Any resulting shortage of HQLA could impair open market operations as eligible collateral became scarce. So they're making excuses as to why this won't work for retail, why it does need to be kind of exclusively for wholesale. And then this from the BIS, stablecoins could be used by anyone, retail or general purpose, or only by a limited set of actors, i.e. financial institutions or selected clients of financial institutions, so wholesale. So they're saying it could be for retail in general, or it could be set to a limited set of institutions. They haven't really given an opinion, but they say it is possible for both to occur. And then just over here, if retail users transfer funds from bank deposits to global stablecoins, that could result in generally stable retail deposits being replaced, at least partially, with much more fluid institutional deposits stemming from the stablecoin arrangement in question. In particular, countries with fragile domestic banking systems could see deposit holders preferring to exchange their deposits for stablecoins, resulting in a loss of funding for domestic banks. The situation may be reversed if there is a loss of confidence in the stablecoin arrangement, but banks' funding could still be affected through other channels, such as the redistribution of deposits across banking institutions following a sudden withdrawal of deposit-associated market volatility and reputational damage impacting banks involved in the stablecoin ecosystem as actors. So reasons again, GSC not for retail. And then pointing to the fact again that XRP could be part of this mix. So this is from, I believe this is from the same document even, RippleNet, talking about RippleNet. This was before the rebranding for ODL, by the way. They're talking about XRP saying, yes, it is a hybrid coin. And so he's just linking that to this. Hybrid tokens can be classified as debt or equity securities if they share the characteristics of asset tokens. For example, if the hybrid instrument generates interest for the holder, it should be classified as a debt security. So all interesting information here, just kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Global stablecoin, there is an argument suggesting that's the way we're going to see XRP go. And I mean, not only that, we have seen it in so many other cases like this one, courtesy of XRP gentleman here, with regards to, a national emergency level liquidity crisis. This tweeted out originally by unknown name. Insolvent banks everywhere, especially in Europe. ODL is required now. I don't think they will hold on much longer. I mean, guys, the crap is hitting the fan. It's getting very, very close. And in this tweet, he said gold will fall about 30 to 45% and then rise much higher. So there's this idea that the precious metals will plummet and then skyrocket once we hit this liquidity crisis. If you guys didn't see my video I did yesterday, I talked a little bit about ICE 9, and I'll link that up here in the top right-hand corner if you guys don't know what that is. And guys, here is the solution. And we're talking a timeline here, November 2022, over the weekend of the 19th and the 20th in November. This coming directly from flow.db.com. Okay, this is part of Deutsche Bank's website. You can see the Deutsche Bank logo in there. They're talking about November 2022. We are set to replace our core banking system in January of 2023, which means that come November 2022, when the migration to ISO 20022 goes live for high-value payments in Europe and cross-border payments globally, we will still be using our current and soon-to-be legacy core banking system. So he says there is going to be a transition. We will still be using that. As such, our plans is to make the minimum number of changes required before then migrating with a big bang approach once the new system is in place. For this strategy to work, we are reliant on an on-site translation for European high-value payments and SWIFT's inflow translation for cross-border payments. So these guys are making the change. This is the timeline. However, I mean, we don't know how much of this is going to be dependent on what else is going on. The liquidity crisis, I almost feel like it's kind of been coordinated from the beginning. But guys, at least we have a solution. At least XRP is positioned to be that solution. This from King Mensa Musa here on Twitter. Liquidity crisis aversion. This was Chris Larson from a few years ago. And here's what he had to say.
10 years out on the financial crisis, we still don't have the infrastructure perhaps to prevent the next one. And I think this is where digital assets can really help, because an efficient digital asset can really solve some of the key problems in global liquidity. The world's got trillions and trillions of dollars tied up in liquidity just to get around how clunky the movement of value is around the world. If with a really efficient digital asset, something like XRP, again, that's what we believe will be the most efficient, you can now reduce trillions and trillions of capital from being tied up. So you can make those transfers instantly as a bank or as a payment provider or as an enterprise without having to have money pre-positioned all over the world.
So you do not need the Nostro and Vostro accounts is essentially what Chris Larson is saying. We have the liquidity pools. XRP is positioned to not only be that global bridge currency, but perhaps to be that global stablecoin. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.